is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Oh my god.
First of all, I want to bring this up because I just noticed it. I hadn't looked at my Patreon in about 4 or 5 days, no lie. And then I saw there was a new pledgee to Patreon yesterday, so I wanted to check and see if the total had gone up. Sadly, the total has gone down by almost $20.
That's terrible. That's such a terrible thing. And what that means is that a bunch of people either lowered or withdrew their pledges for the month, more than likely because I've been mentioning that we're safe for the month, which is not the case. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
I've been saying that we're soft safe. We've soft hit the goal for the month on Patreon. So now I'm getting nervous.
I'm nervous.
Because already we got $20 withdrawn, and we were just on the borderline of hitting the goal if everyone's pledges went through. So now what's going to happen if a bunch more people's pledges don't go through, or more people lower their pledges in the next 5 days, we're going to be shot.
The rantings of like a 5-year-old. And I really want to do this upcoming holiday marathon. I really, really do. Anything for this, right? So please, folks, if you want to see this Christmas marathon, you got to pledge. There's 5 days left, all right? 5 days left. Why am I toxic? Now would be the time to pledge, not the time to withdraw your pledge. Come watch me and give me monies. And if you don't, I'll have no life and no way to make money.
Evo Kale Watat is asking about the public-facing Patreon goal because he's confused.
You can never trust what it says on my Patreon page, folks. Unbelievable.
For 2 reasons. Number one, because it automatically is accounting for thinking that people are going to get declined. That's number one, and a lot of times people don't. Number two, it only counts what's a current pledge, and already this month I had someone, it was actually Nobert, right? Who earlier this month did a $200+ pledge.
Some people are just fucking idiots. What else can I say? You gotta be an idiot.
But he didn't want to be charged that again, so he lowered his pledge, and when he lowered it, it accounted for that in the total. So if you say, oh, I'll pledge $200, it counts as 200, but then if you lower it to 5, the total changes back down as if you only pledged 5. So right now, technically, all right, add around 200 roughly to what you're seeing right now on the Patreon page, and that's correct. The problem is if you add 200 to 900, which is what it says right now, we're under the goal. We haven't hit the goal. See what I mean?
Dude, no one is complaining about this but you. If you've got the problem and no one else has the problem, maybe you're the problem.
And that's what I'm nervous about. If everyone's pledges who Patreon is assuming will be declined get declined, we're not going to hit the goal right now.
We do need more pledges. A silver-tongued talker, right? Oh, I'm just going to say it one way, and hopefully you'll believe it, even though that's not the truth. And that's literally what's happening here. The guy's a liar. The guy's a fucking blatant liar and lying to everyone. But people are believing it because they don't know any better.
All right. There you go.
Please, folks, be careful. Please, pledge if you can. Let's make this marathon happen. Last thing I would want is now it doesn't happen after I've been saying that we hit the goal and it looks like we're going to be good for it. Then it doesn't happen. That would really, really suck. All right. You know how rude it is to ask people about money? You should not ask about fucking money.
FYI, folks, I've decided what the goal is going to be for next month's Patreon. It's going to be the best Patreon goal I've ever done, in my opinion. And next year, the year of 2018, my Patreon is changing. The way that I do these monthly goals is not going to be based off of Patreon pledges anymore. I'm going to explain a little bit about that. I'll give you a rough rundown right now, but I'll talk more about it as we get closer. So the way we do it right now, folks, right, is people pledge to my Patreon and they earn these personal perks, right? They do. But then they also contribute to the monthly goal, right? That's how it works. Well, what I'm finding, folks, is that this year a lot of people are contributing to me via the streams rather than Patreon because the streams are more of the interactive stuff that I'm focusing on now, right? Some people have even said, the perks are fine, but you've pretty much reached kind of the peak level. It's going to be between 150 to 200 people that are going to pledge to you for those existing perks, and the marathons are nice, but people want to get recognition on stream. They want to, you know what I mean? They want to be part of the streams. They don't really care about Patreon. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it, all right? I'm going to change it. Here we go. You ready? Here's how it's going to be. In 2018, I'm going to base the events, meaning the playthroughs, if I'm going to do a special like playthrough of a game, a marathon, etc. I'm going to base these events not on how much I raise on Patreon. I'm going to base it on the number of subscriptions and subscribers that I have here on Twitch. And the way I'm going to do it, to start, all right? The way I'm going to do it to start is it's going to be based off of what I saw could basically potentially be my maximum subscribers plus a few because I want to be able to get that. So really, I just saw this past weekend, all right? The maximum number of subscribers I've ever had at once here on my Twitch channel was 308. We hit that this last, actually when I say this weekend, it is the weekend. It was this week, this past week, like the middle of the week. I hit 308 concurrent subscribers, okay? What I want to do, all right, is I want to have it so I consistently have 300, and I want to add to that for us to celebrate and do these special events. So what I think I'm going to do, for example, in the month of January, okay, is if I can hit 350 concurrent subscribers in January during the month at any point, then I'll do a special event, you know, in February or March or whatever. But the way it's going to work, all right, the way it's going to work is patrons, people who pledge to my Patreon, are going to still have the capability to control the events. So total number of subs on Twitch determines if I do the event. Patrons will control the event. So for example, I'm just making this up. Let's say in January my goal is I'm going to play, I don't know, I'll just pull any game out of a fucking hat. I'm going to play Sonic the Lost World. I'm not saying that's it, because I don't think a lot of people would want to see me play that anyway. But let's say that was the goal. So if I hit 350 concurrent subs on Twitch anytime during the month of January, then I'm going to do a playthrough of that, okay? But, alright, actually, let me do it this way. Let me adjust that. It's not Sonic the Lost World, it's a Sonic playthrough. If I hit 350 subs in January, it's a Sonic playthrough, guaranteed. But then it will be the patrons who pledge in January, alright, who nominate and vote on the Sonic games that they want to see me play in the event. See what I mean? That's how it's going to be. It's going to be number of subs, right, will motivate people to sub to the channel consistently to get these events happening. But then if you are a contributor on Patreon, you now mold that event. You'll be able to nominate and vote and do that kind of stuff. I think this makes sense.
What the fuck? Are you fucking serious?
Because there's people on Patreon who are going to be consistent pledgees no matter what, right? So now if you want to be a part of the event, you sub to my channel, or let me put it this way. If you want the event to happen, you sub to the channel. If you want to be a part of the event and mold it and control it, pledge to the Patreon, okay?
You think I'm the villain? Go fuck yourself.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control.
Correct, Majin Buu. That's right. Twitch subs will determine if I do the event, and then once we determine that the event's going to happen, the patrons will mold the event, all right? Have control over it. So that's a perfect example. An example here, let's say that it's going to be Patron's Choice playthrough. So if I hit 350 subs, okay, we're going to have a Patron's Choice playthrough, and then the patrons who pledge $5 or more will be nominating and voting on what games it'll be in the playthrough. Get it? And I think the reason that works, honestly, I think the reason that works is because, like I said, more people seem to be motivated to come out to the streams and participate in the streams. They want to see on screen. They want to see that pop-up that says, congratulations, you know, to the new sub. They want to get a verbal shout-out from me on stream.
Duh, like, how stupid can you be?
But they also want to contribute to Patreon, and that's the thing. If you guys haven't noticed, a lot of people have been coming out and doing tips, doing subs and cheers, but that doesn't contribute to Patreon because they're completely separate entities. If we do it this way, you know, the events will still be happening, right? But it'll still motivate more people to come to the channel and participate in the channel, which is what I want. So the Twitch channel will grow, and the patrons still get something out of it too. Get it? Yeah, Popsicolo is saying, why don't you put a sub meter on screen? I don't think that Muxy has anything like that. I'm pretty sure they don't. What Muxy has is a tip cup, so you can have like a cup that fills up, but they don't have necessarily a on-screen sub thing. And sadly, I'm not going back to Streamlabs because when I started using it earlier this year, it stopped working after like 2 days. It would not work with OBS properly. It was just crashing constantly. And Muxy since then has worked perfectly, so I'm sticking with Muxy for now. But what I will do is every day I can update you guys on how many subs we have. So for example, FYI, you know, the most subs I ever had at once was 308, and that was about 2-3 days ago. Right now we're down to 285, folks. Okay? We are definitely down to 285. Why are we down to 285? Here's why. Here's why we're down to 285. Because during last month's event where I was promoting Twitch extensions, remember this was the special stream of Choice Chamber that was being broadcast at TwitchCon? We had about 20 to 30 troll subs that came in, and they were troll accounts, you know, Twitch Prime, free trial accounts, to basically come in and say insulting things to me during the stream, because if you sub when you're playing Choice Chamber, you get on-screen stuff the whole time. So that's what happened, is basically 20 to 30 subs have fallen off that weren't real subs. They were just troll subs for that event. So my goal, let's say come January, would be, can we get up to 350 subs?
Greed is massively strong.
Because if we do, that's amazing. Now let's do a fun event to celebrate. And then if you were a Patreon contributor, here, you use your power as a patron to mold and control the event. That's what I'm thinking, okay?
Wow. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, like I said, this month, we're in jeopardy. I need more people to pledge to Patreon. I'm not a whiny baby.
To ensure that we're definitely doing the Christmas Marathon, folks, so please do if you can. And next month, I've got the best idea ever for Patreon. And really, the reason I'm doing it that month...
No lies, because I need the money right now with this whole tax situation I'm in. I need the money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
You know, and that money, anything that's pledged to my Patreon now or next month, I'll get in time to pay the taxes, okay? So that's why I'm worried about this. So it's going to be the best thing ever. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, next month's goal is the best ever.
I was trained as a competitive excellence, achieving competitive excellence, or ACE, continuous improvement person.
I can't wait to tell you what it is, because you're going to flip. You guys are going to flip when you hear this.
And I'm not a children's entertainer. I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.